So ReHIT, that's the name of this core workout protocol that stands for Reduced Exertion High Intensity Interval Training. And most people will be familiar with HIT. And ReHIT is just a evolution, like a more advanced version of HIT, because HIT is clearly very effective, but most people find HIT actually quite hard to do. If you have a 25, 30-minute session, it's also not that time effective, not that time efficient. And so ReHIT was developed by scientists looking for the minimal effective dose of cardio exercise. And this hasn't been invented by us. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. There's very renowned and solid professors around the world and academic centers that have researched that and confirmed that 2 20-second sprints is actually sufficient to create a very powerful training stimulus. And if we dive into what the actual mechanism is, what triggers that adaptation, it's really important to keep in mind. You don't get fit during the workout. You get fit in the recovery. So in the workout, you create a training stimulus and you want to trigger a response. And the response and the adaptation, that happens after the workout when you recover and in your rest period. So the training really just has to create that stimulus. And in ReHIT, that is achieved through these short maximum intensity sprints. And what happens is your energy demand in those sprints goes up by about a factor of 100 compared to rest. So you have a very steep increase in energy demand. And your normal aerobic system just can't provide enough energy in the short term to meet that need. So the first 10 seconds of the sprint, you use what's called your phosphocreatine energy system, and you utilize that to create ATP and then basically engage your muscles and move and use your muscles. That's very, very fast, but is depleted after about 10 seconds. And then to continue going, you need to tap into your anaerobic energy system and burn muscular glycogen. So glycogen is a storage form of sugar that's stored in your muscles and in your liver. And to meet this immediate, severe increase in energy demand, the body has to mobilize muscular glycogen. And here the important thing is it's the mobilization of that glycogen that matters. So studies have shown that you mobilize about 25 to 30% of your muscular glycogen in your legs. Now, that's a phenomenal amount of energy that could keep you going for a really long time.
And that's in that's in 20 seconds. So we've gone from the phosphocreatine system, which is like the Usain Bolt 100-meter dash, about 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then the glycolytic system that you're talking about kicks in about 10 seconds later. And then, okay, so this is about 20 seconds in total, and then a 25% to 30% of the glycogen that we're utilizing in that glycolytic pathway is from the legs.
So we're mobilizing it. We're mobilizing it.
Okay.
We're actually utilizing it, like burning a tiny fraction of that. So the reason why you don't sweat terribly much is because you burn relatively little energy. And the burning of energy increases your body temperature. So, but as you go into this sprint and you switch on the intensity levels from 1 to 100, your body doesn't know whether this is for 20 seconds or for a minute or for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So what we're basically trying to do is simulate an emergency situation, like a fight or flight situation, or like where you have to run for your life or fight for your life. And in response to this rapid ramping up of energy demand, the body mobilizes a lot more glycogen than it actually needs. And glycogen is a relatively big molecule, and it just nibbles out of the outer branches of this branched polysaccharide. So we use only very little during the sprint. But And that's really the clever thing about the exercise, about the workout. The signal to the body is triggered by the mobilization. Because, and here, okay, there's a little bit of hypothesis, but this is how the leading researchers think it works. With the glycogen, with the stored glycogen, there's a bound molecule called AMPK that gets released as the glycogen gets mobilized. And AMPK, that triggers physiological adaptations afterwards, and it releases and activates downstream a further molecule, PGC1 alpha, which is the master regulator for mitochondrial biogenesis. And so these short sprints basically trigger a signaling cascade that tell your body to get fitter and stronger, and, for example, develop more and larger mitochondria. And if you think about it just in like more figuratively, so you create an emergency situation, you tell your body like, oh, I'm under threat or under attack, I'm getting really stressed. That's not a comfortable situation. So then your body wants to adapt and get fitter and stronger to be prepared for such emergencies, so that it has all the energy, the power it needs to, say, run from that tiger or fight for your life. And that's what triggers the physiological response, and that's what makes you fitter and stronger. There's some other things that happen. So it's basically, it improves oxygen delivery and oxygen consumption. So oxygen consumption is around mitochondria and mitochondrial mass and mitochondrial function. And oxygen delivery, that's about plasma volume, capillarization of the muscle, about peak cardiac flow and how much blood your heart can pump in one stroke. And studies have shown that all of that gets improved and increased through those 2 20-second sprints.
Which is almost too good to be true.
It gets more crazy than that. Studies have even shown that if you do more or longer sprints, you don't get additional benefits, but the benefits actually decline.